we want to kind of wrap up the issues that we're looking at with one that you probably are hearing about this week, maybe even today, right? And that is the idea of cancel culture. Earlier, we talked about throwaway culture, right? That's a little bit different, but in media, particularly social media, it's the idea of cancel culture. And what is that? It's the idea of calling out someone and no longer supporting them for something they said or did. And it can often be for past behaviors. So the term itself is relatively new. The idea maybe not so much, and we'll look at that here in a second. But people are often called out or canceled via social media. And users calling for the canceling often don't accept apologies or dialogue. And that can be part of the challenge there, right? No matter what you say, no matter what you did, maybe even years ago, right? Boom, you're canceled. You're no longer this or that to me. And so now we see, people, particularly comedians, coming out saying, maybe this isn't the way that things need to be. Fox News has been hitting on the topic a lot lately.
For example, can you lose your job for free thought? Will you have your speech policed at every angle, every aspect, every walk of society? Increasingly, you know the answer to that is yes in America. Well, Bill Maher, who is a card-carrying member of the left, is calling out the left because what's going on in our culture, cancel culture, woke culture, is out of control. Listen to this.
Cancel culture is real, it's insane, and it's growing exponentially, and it's coming to a neighborhood near you. And mature people understand humans are continually evolving, as opposed to Wokeville, where they're always shocked we didn't emerge enlightened from the primordial ooze. Memo to social justice warriors: when what you're doing sounds like an Onion headline, stop.
So this has, as you've seen here, been a hot button lately. And there's some things being lumped into cancel culture that maybe should be, maybe they shouldn't be. Some things being canceled or people being removed from TV shows or otherwise. Maybe they should be, maybe they shouldn't. We're not going to dive into that, right? We're just talking about kind of cancel culture and what it is. Dr. Seuss in the headlines this week, right? 6 books no longer going to be in publication. Perhaps a victim of cancel culture, perhaps simply, life has passed us by and we know better now. Gina Carano, actress on The Mandalorian, she posted some things on social media in support of Republicans, linked it to World War II and the Nazis, no longer on The Mandalorian anymore. Justin Timberlake, after the Britney Spears documentary came out a month or so ago, a lot of people looked at his past treatment of women and said, he needs to be canceled or at least apologize for what he did. He has since apologized. And then Chris Harrison, you may know him as the host of The Bachelor. You may say, I have no idea who this guy is. But Chris hosted The Bachelor. He's currently on hiatus because he defended a contestant who in the past had attended a party, like a Southern themed party that would not be allowed anymore. But he talked about, or he defended her based on the years in which that happened. And he has since had to apologize for that and was removed from the show. It's important to note this issue is a big hot button right now with conservatives. It's even, I saw this week a story about a Republican member of the House who wants a hearing on cancel culture. But it's important to know that this is something that can go both ways and has.
We're ashamed the President of the United States is from Texas.
Support the Dixie Chicks or supporting traitors?
Move to France, Dixie Chicks.
We're living in this culture now where, you say the wrong thing and you're canceled. We're living this cancel culture. And that was 17 years ago that happened.
Yeah, I think we were one of the first people to feel that cancel culture. So on one hand, everyone has this platform where they can say whatever they want to say. But on the other hand, this platform can move really quickly and ruin people's lives.
Yeah, it's sad. I think we need to get back to where we all just celebrate our differences and we all have different opinions, and it's okay to have strong opinions.
Agreed.
As long as you're not hurting somebody else, you can speak your opinion.
Ellen DeGeneres, the voice of reason there, right? Ellen saying, perhaps let's dialogue about it, right? Instead of simply saying, you're gone, you're canceled. So our question to you here is, what are your thoughts on how the media and the public can combat cancel culture? What are your thoughts on how the media and the public can combat cancel culture? And feel free to hop in the chat and lend your thoughts. I'm going to walk you through one thing that jumped out at me here recently. And you may be familiar with this guy. Emmanuel Acho is his name, former football player, is now a sports commentator. And during the, right after George Floyd's death, as the social justice protests were happening, he launched a social media series called Uncomfortable Conversations with the Black Man. The first one viewed millions of times. If you're on social media, it crossed your feed at some point. We're looking at that right now on the screen. But what he does is, this one particularly, he spoke directly to white people about why black people feel the way they do. He's done other episodes. He's taken on cancel culture. He brought Chelsea Handler on to talk about that. He brought on Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, to talk about Colin Kaepernick, who I think we could all agree was canceled at one point, right? And more recently, and why this caught my eye, I had to watch the Daytona 500 for work. I'm not going to watch the Daytona 500 otherwise, guys. If you like racing, good for you, not me. But Kyle Larson is a driver, and a year or so ago, he used a racial slur on a live stream. He didn't think it was public. It was. And because of that, he lost his sponsors. He left the racing series. And quite frankly, he could have been canceled, right? Perhaps maybe, in the short term, at least he was, right? But he was allowed back into racing. And I was really compelled with what Fox did before the broadcast, and that's to take Emmanuel Acho and sit him down with Kyle Larson to have dialogue about what he's learned since using the word. And I'm just going to show you guys a quick snippet of that.
Is he good?
I think I'm good.
Let me ask you this. Why should we believe in Kyle Larson's second chance?
Kyle Larson is at the top of sports headlines today.
A driver said an unforgivable phrase.
This is something that doesn't belong anywhere in our society.
He has been released by Chip Ganassi Racing.
I can see it. You can't hear me? Hey. Wow. Hey. Kyle, you're talking to everyone, bud. Yeah, we heard that.
All right, Kyle, the first thing I'm wondering is, you don't have to have this conversation, right? You could have put this all behind you. So let me ask you, what specifically about race or about inequality would you say you've learned over the last 10 months?
Yeah, I would say I didn't realize that word still, when heard by, a black person, took them, back to those thoughts of, slavery and injustice. And I didn't really open my eyes to what's going on in the world.
So the conversation continued from there, and I just found it interesting, that they went through that dialogue and that conversation, and did that on a racing pre-show, probably to an audience that had not taken part in a ton of social justice conversations before, and used that platform and Emmanuel Acho specifically to tackle a topic like that. So props to Fox Sports for what they did there. We want to go back to the chat now, and we'll bring in Chris to go through a few of these. Our question: what are your thoughts on how the media and the public can combat cancel culture? Chris.
Yeah, so thank you again for everyone that's responding. Very deep and insightful, indeed. Something that I saw that I think it's also good to just reiterate is there's someone said, my feeling is the media thrive on inundation because all of us love to feel inundated. Cancel culture is the consequence. So I guess we'll all need to be more tolerant and less enraged by things and people we don't agree with. And it's similar to somebody else also put, we need to stop thinking about media as an outlet that only supports what we like. Let ourselves be challenged by other opinions. It's also very true to take, what the goal of the media is really trying to be. So those are just some of them, and really love how you guys are engaging.
Hi, and thanks for visiting my channel. While you're here, go ahead and subscribe, comment below, or click another one of these videos. Make it a great day.